All right. All right. Things are good. Dog's on the bed. Food's in the fridge. That right there. I'm feeling good. Did some scanning today, right? You got to do that. Every day you got to do I feel okay? Why don't I feel okay? It starts to stack up. It's so crazy out there that when you get in here, you gotta like you gotta kind of unloosen stuff. Your mind is just blocking things up left and right. But if we choose to understand why, right? To ask why and to understand ourselves and be real with ourselves. Why do I feel that way? Those moments are difficult for us. They really are. And they seem really difficult if we haven't been there in a while and we've been running. Feels like you're running from yourself, like a tidal wave, and it's coming. And emotions are challenging if you're attempting to understand them with your mind, because your mind doesn't like emotions. Your mind likes control. And when you get emotions or you feel emotions hit you, they affect your ability to control, and you lose control, and you're like, oh boy, what do I do? But in those moments, in those windows, you can see yourself and understand why you then choose to go back to the mind. So let's talk about this. This is very, very interesting. Thought, right? What is thought? What is the thought you see within your own head or mind's eye? How do you view it? Whatever you want to call it. I get asked all the time and critiqued, well, what's the mind? Oh, you can't even see the mind, and what's this mind's eye stuff? Okay, well, whatever. What's thought? What's the thought that you're seeing or that you hear throughout the day? What is that? So this video series and my experience and my reality is saying, well, what is that? Yeah, I want to know why. And you just keep going to ask why. Yeah, why is that thought there? And what I want to throw out there today, or tonight as it is your mind has an agenda. Okay, you've heard me say this in a lot of videos, but this is really important. Your reality is being created with thoughts that are projected to within your mind's eye and chosen and consciously projected out. So in other words, your mind is like this person that sits behind you, as an analogy, and just feeds you ideas. Hey, go there. Hey, make sure to do this first. Did that person ever pay you back? Are you going to call this person back? Hey, you're doing really well. How you look really good in this, right? It's just like it's like a kind of a creepy voice that's always creating your reality. But you're choosing to create the mind, your own filter, to distract you, to garner your focus, right? You're choosing the filter. You're creating that. So your thoughts, the thoughts you hear, the feelings you have, the sounds you hear, oh, that song I keep hearing, right? These are all tactics of the mind. That smell that gets you, what you see, images, the cool app, the new game you downloaded, okay, the really good stuff, the really bad stuff. Your mind uses all that to gain your focus. But this is the key, right? We know the mind's doing that. If you watch these videos, it's all I'm talking about. It's mind. Well, it's very important. Very important to understand the mind and its agenda to control your focus. But your reality, a creality. Did I just invent a word? A creality, a created reality. All right. I got to patent that one. Creality.com. Your reality is created with these thought forms you're projecting, but your mind isn't giving you and feeding you thought forms that are conducive to pushing out against your primary fears. In other words, you're only being fed one side or one angle, right? All day long, all day, every day. The cool person that comes in your life and says, hey, you should do this, or check this out. This is really cool. Your mind isn't sending you that. Or this other person over here, hey, don't forget you're a really awesome person, or hey, you can always do this. Your mind isn't projecting that type of feed to within your head. That's a really key concept. Your mind is projecting thought forms within your head that it feels will gain your focus. That's the intent of the mind. That's the way in which the mind chooses to control. So your reality is only a version of what you can create. You can use any thought forms to create any reality you choose. You create your own reality. But if you're being fed with the same form of thoughts and choosing them, then your reality is going to look very repetitive and very much the same and controlled. So you may choose a reality with something other than the mind, because you already know your mind is going to create the reality that you see right now. It's creating it right now. And I'm very forward about that, because I feel as though everybody's creating with the mind all day long. So the reality you see with your eyes, the people around you, the choices you make, the decisions that your when you sleep, when you eat, what you choose, that's all your mind. That's the reality. That's the reality your mind is creating. That's the agenda with the little voice, and whatever it's using, the voice, the sounds, the sensory, that's the reality that you're creating through your filter to protect your primary fears. What would happen if you chose thought forms that were outside of your filter, or thought forms that created a reality that you couldn't control? Now we're talking. A reality created with the heart to affect others. A reality chosen without fear. The boundaries of your own mind, expanding outside of that. Consciousness is achieved through seeing oneself and abandoning the choice to project through the mind. It's simply like leaving it behind. You can't turn it off. Okay, you can't. There's no magic switch. There's no dial. Okay, it's there. You can simply choose to project around it and be aware of it. Awareness is the key, right? Awareness, consciousness of its intent. So this video is really to remind you that if your mind's eye or your ticker, right, like a thought feed, just right, groceries, kids, that person in high school that never liked you, the project coming up, what time to get up, right? Okay, so if that's your ticker, if that's your feed, okay, be aware it's there. You can choose to observe it and ask, well, why is it doing that? If that's your ticker, and every now and then, yeah, I never did like to hang out with him. Okay, go. How do I feel about it? It's got an agenda to it. It's got an agenda. I'm very animated, and I'm very much, I don't know if I'm against the mind, but I'm not a huge fan. It has a way of controlling that I don't feel as though it's conducive for us creating a reality, within the heart and to help each other. If that's the ticker and that's the thought feed, then you can choose something other than that, other than what you're hearing within your head, within your mind's eye. Just ask why. Ask why you're having those thoughts. Ask why your reality looks the way it does. And begin to ask yourself, well, wait a minute, if that's the ticker, and I got to do all the other stuff like wake up and grocery and shop, okay, all the survival elements, I get that. But then what about all the other little side stuff, like when I go to bed and who I hang out with? That's all an agenda? And who I talk to and why I like certain people? That's a filter? Then wait a minute. What's my reality? And who am I? Am I my mind? Or am I just being guarded by my mind? And what would happen if I created thought forms and projected a different form of reality than just through my mind? Very interesting. Very awesome is what it is, creating a reality outside the mind. So, if you don't believe me, observe your own thoughts. Your reality is created with this voice, which I'm saying has an agenda. It does. Write them all out. You got 1,000 thoughts a day? Write them out. Scan yourself, audit your own thoughts, and see the thought forms that control your focus and create a reality outside the mind. You don't need the mind. Awesome. Thank you again. My name is Beau Flasher, beauflasher.com, awayunseen.com. Download the book, understand more, choose to see yourself. See you next time.